Hi, hello, and welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today, and I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon into Leo. So it's Virgo season, a little bit of retraction and revision. The last few handful of videos, two, three videos, there was a little bit of a shift, an error in the house placement. So just mind the title, because that's always where corrections are made, even before we get into like the about section or the description or the show notes. The title will be updated appropriately. And then we're also exiting Mercury retrograde. So just remember a little bit of housekeeping besides revision and retractions. The videos disappear uh, after a retrograde, typically when I come back from vacation. So I always go on vacation around the retrograde season, Mercury specifically. So we typically only keep like the last rolling 5 to 6 months of videos publicly, because unlike the mystery school, or unlike the my personal channel, the temple channel, Vertex of Abundance, it's about timely versus timeless messages. So honestly, you get it when you get it. So if you're picking up a message later on, or like in the revision and the retractions, the house number for the transit, if that's incorrect, the messages are pertinent. Okay. There's this what we call a termination. So if you pick up the meaning, if you pick up the resonance of the content after whatever time period is given, it means it's a spiritual cycle for you. Now, if you pick it up during whatever time is given, it means the energy may physically come across your path. That's also why most American astrology or Western astrology is based off the rising sign, because the rising sign will tell you what's physically coming for you in terms of your spirit, karma, life path, destiny. Your first, fifth, ninth house, also called the Dharma Trikona, also specifically your first house, talks about your physical aura, talks about your physical body. Literally, that's how you look to the heavens. Like if somebody's looking down from a top-down view towards the earth or from the higher dimensions, really, we're always going to show up as our rising sign. Does that make sense? So for instance, if a cycle is between the 28th and the 1st of September and you pick it up on September 5th, well, it's no longer August 28th to September 1st. You're picking it up on, the 5th of September, like 4 or 5 days later. So it means there's more of a spiritual meaning for the person watching the video. If we're picking it up on the 5th, it's more of a spiritual meaning than the physical meaning. However, when you hit upon an earth sign or an earth house, so an earth sign is Capricorn, Torino with Taurus, Virgo, or the second, sixth, 10th house, when that happens, it still may be a physical experience. This will be still far more subtle. What's the difference between subtle and gross? Gross means physical or lower dimension because it's larger, has more mass. Subtle means higher or spiritual dimension. Okay. So that's some revision and retraction, some housekeeping. Okay, let's get in here. So when the moon is transiting, and I just saw like Seven of Cups, Devil, Diavolo. So, and Four of Pentacles, Diavolo, Cuarto de Diavolo. So when the moon is transiting the 12th house, it's about the things going on behind the scenes, behind our back, maybe the ancestors, something that's institutionalized, whether it's spiritual institution, physical institution, whether it's in a spiritual institution in the physical realm, or even a spiritual institution in the physical realm. That's what's going on. It's basically things going behind our back or over our head, or that have to deal with the ancestors, or have to deal with liberation from the incarnational cycle, things that we haven't known or won't know or don't know about ourselves. And even when things are illuminated, revealed, or when we gain insight, i.e., the moon, into whatever energy that is Leo, our God sovereignty, we're not going to know all the aspects of it. Now, Pluto is exalted in Leo. okay, which is where the moon is at, but the moon is opposing Pluto right now because the Pluto is moving to Aquarius. You know, when they say the age of, the dawning of, for instance, Aquarius, that's actually wherever Pluto is. Pluto moves signs approximately every 18 years, and that's about the average time for it takes for a generation, meaning every 15 to 20 years, we're in a new generation, okay? Like if you track like the baby boomers, generation X, generation Y, generation Z, generation Alpha, generation whatever, what have you, you'll always notice that it's always separated about 18 years. Okay, so when Pluto is transiting the sixth house, especially when it's opposed to the moon, we will get insight into hidden enemies. But here's the deal there. There's something that we might not be able to do, or we might be debilitated, or we might be actually struggling. It's not necessarily, Pluto is not necessarily debilitated. It's in its fall. Fall means that it's the furthest from the earth. It can barely be accessed or seen. Debilitated just means it has to work harder. Debilitations over the long run are good, over the short term are negative. Not malevolent, but negative, because it's one of those short-sighted things. It's one of those instant gratification things. You don't get that. Okay, so but when something's in this fall, like it is now, Pluto specifically, especially in the sixth house, because the sixth house, the eighth house, multitricone, which means the triplicity of maleficent, negative, mul, dark, or bad. It's difficult. Okay, so the sixth house, the eighth house, the 12th house, those are kind of karmic. And the moon is transiting the 12th house, and we have something all up in the sixth house, which is Pluto. So unfortunately, we're having a little bit of a difficulty. That's what's up. And it's not going to be pleasant. And when things are in its fall, it means it's always going to come out of like the blue. It's going to short sight us or something of that nature, something of that kind. All right. Now, this typically comes out about 36 to 48 hours early for most folks. So I hope we're able to take advantage of that. And I don't mean to rush, but I'm going to have to. We have the Ace of Pentacles, Four of Swords with this Il Mundo, the world. Yeah, step by step, and you're moving in, 4 by 4, and you're breathing in. So somebody's, I don't have all the energy here yet, but somebody's been trying to make us feel good or feel or soothe us or something of that nature, kind of wear us down or catch us unaware or confuse us or make us indecisive because they've had some long-term con. And it might not be somebody, it might be a function of the universe, although seeds have been planted or some kind of agenda or ground has been laid, Seven of Pentacles. We also have the Ace of Undacopa, the Ace of Cups, and Authority, the Tower. I typically call out the court cards in the major arcana. We have Infanta de Copa here is the Princess of Cups. It's the Page of Cups. Rey de Bastioni here. It's the Knight of Wands. It's typically the King of Wands. El Diablo. Okay, so that's breaking out of hell, but this is some kind of tyrannical control. So somebody's had something, person, energy, entity, ideology has had like a thumb on us kind of deal with, because the order that it comes in, there's something that is losing its hold on us, and it's going to want to have this one last ditch effort to knock us out, tear us down, tear us apart. You'll throw it at the tower. It's of an opposing mind, this energy. And the groundwork's been laid. I think it was successful for some kind of time, but we have the tower. I mean, the tower and the wheel, La Ruota. Here it's called Fortune, La Fortuna. That's the wheel of fortune. And it can be negative because we have the devil here. So it can be karmic. We could have been in a karmic cycle here, but we're leaving it with the Eight of Cups here. Otra de copa means that a couple of things. Now, I'll give the negative connotation as well. So, I'm gonna be late to my thing, but it's okay. Let's do this work, honey. Let me get the clarifiers. Today, we're deliberating the findings from The Modern Witch Tarot by Lisa Sturl, I think. And we will be imposing the guidance from Thought Tarot, that's illustrated by Lady Frida Harris, created by Aleister Crowley. We'll also be deliberating the findings from the Egyptian Gods Oracle, and that will be Silvana Alasia, produced by Los Carabello, published by Los Carabello. And the Thought Tarot is by American Game System. If I detect any love or any romance, I will tap into these pop-up love oracle, okay? And that's by Vibe About It Tarot. But that's only if I see love. I will use the Egyptian oracle and the Modern Witch Tarot, no matter what. And as I said, my name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. It's a delight and an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. Again, Vertex of Abundance is the Galactic Temple of Ascension. We're delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. I want to advise and I want to empower that if anything resonates deeply with you, my darling, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. As always, there is information and resources available for you in the show notes. Sometimes it's the about section or the description box. Let us begin. We have a transiting moon in Akaya, that's Aquario, and our Leo. So the Pluto is in Aquarius. Okay, so we have a couple of transits here, just 2, 3. Let me call them out. We have the moon is opposed Pluto. So we're getting insight into a powerful opponent, and it may be otherworldly, it may be primordial, it may be a conglomerate of power. We may be going up against the institution of power, especially with that tower, El Torre. We also have the moon is going to be conjunct Mercury. So that's actually very powerful, very positive, because we will get insight into our God sovereign free self, and it'll be intellect, reasoning, communication. We might know for a day or two how to navigate our power, how to navigate our intuition. We might understand the hidden pieces, the missing pieces that have only been subtle up until some time. Maybe they were covert, maybe they were micro, maybe they were unconscious. They will step into the fore. They will step into the forefront. They will step into the conscious, into the macro, into the overt, even if for a momentary second. We also have a square with Uranus. So there is some kind of adversarial nature to our God sovereign self, our freedom as a citizen of the cosmos, as a galactic sovereign being. And that's really what this little, moon transiting Leo is going to be. And it's because we moved into Virgo. So I was still operating under Leo season, but on the 22nd, I got to switch it up, and I was not paying attention. I was cupcaking it or sleep at the wheel or something. So mi piacere, mi scusi. I'm sorry. Okay, so with this tower and the devil, I'm getting that normally it's breaking free from hell, but this is telling me that somebody's been, or something, or some energy has been trying to blow us up, tear us down, tear us apart, knock us over, knock us out. And we have this Eight of Cups. Now, normally it's positive. We'd be withdrawing from a situation. Here, what it's giving me is, my darling, it's saying that we might need to mature a little bit. We don't have a Page of Cups yet. Oh, we do. Yeah, we need to mature a little bit. I need to trust my intuition. We need to mature a little bit is what this is saying. Now, it can be that we need to develop our spiritual abilities. We need to learn about our spiritual nature. Eight of Cups in the page. It can also mean that we're feeling withdrawn in some kind of way. It actually means like we've been ignoring the fact that we've won something, or that something's within reach, or that we're in a position that's advantageous. the victory can be ours. But again, with the devil and the wheel of fortune, unless it's luck and unluck, unless it's fortune and misfortune, because that tower is there, unless it's some kind of real estate development, digging under the crust of the earth, digging underground, dealing with gems, dealing with land deals in real estate, and dealing with some kind of business deal that would involve source materials, meaning first market, primary market. What does that mean? We're not in the service business. We're not in a product business. We're in the deliverables of the manufacturer. Meaning, if we are, a real estate developer, we would be dealing with the asphalt, the cement. Or if we're a gem dealer, we would actually be digging underground, the mining of the diamonds or whatever jewels. Does that make sense? Primary market. And unless it's that kind of energy, this is negative. Unfortunately, the devil gives a reverse meaning to everything. So Wheel of Fortune in reverse is the wheel of karma. It's thoroughly supported here though, because we have a court card of the Pentacle. So it can just simply be talking about a Cancer rising, also known as the Venus in Capricorn. And with the Eight of Cups, it can be saying like, listen, we're leaving this energy behind. With the Tower, it can be almost over. There's some kind of insight that we need, some kind of, and hey, moon is insight, illumination, intuition, versus the sun, which would be enlightenment, versus illumination with the moon. So we can need one further illumination, but with the Tower, unlike the Judgment card, it's going to be a shocking revelation. It may even stumble us down to the ground, some kind of blinding flash of the obvious. No, it's shock and awe, cold hard truth. So Eight of Cups in reverse, needing to mature, needing to discover somebody's spiritual abilities, needing to work on themselves spiritually, needing to leave some kind of place, being too attached to the situation and needing to let go, let God. Because there's some envy, some jealousy around us. We've already dealt with it, whether we know it or not. We are dealing with a 6th house, 12th house axis right now, with Pluto opposing the moon. So there's something been going on behind our back. Maybe our power is in another person's hands, and honestly, I'm getting like some kind of negative God. I'm not getting a physical person. I honestly, I think we were contending with the devil, not an agent of the devil themselves. So that's just the angel of darkness. Honestly, like if we're earth angels, that's our little brother. And I don't mean little brother as in younger. I mean little brother at a lower vibration. His rank is not as high as ours. He needs us to give, assent to his little maleficence, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. Because we've been kind of frozen in place. Unfortunately, some of us pinned down, put in a jar, left in a sunken place, suppressed, oppressed, repressed, depressed in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. It's because we were either confused, delulu, schizotypal, schizoid. So I'm not going to pathologize here. This is a therapeutic space, not a clinical space. But we might have been not in touch with reality with that Eight of Cups. Unfortunately, since we have some reverse meanings, it means we're either leaving the Eight of Cups going to the 9 or stuck in the 7 trying to get to the 8. The 7 of Cups with the Two of Swords, can mean that there's a little bit of mental illness. I must inform you, I'll leave that alone. Going to the other thing, schizoid would mean of two minds. Okay, again, therapeutic space, not a clinical space. So leaving the word schizotypal mental illness, we'll go into schizoid, which just means of two minds, cognitive dissidence, allowing or projecting or co-signing, toxicity with the devil. Okay, something might be over, have been over, and we were failing to move forward. We were failing to reach out and get help, seek help in some kind of way, when it was very clear that would have been the most beneficial thing. Now, there is love here on the table, because we have a double ace. Now, I'd like to see some more cups, but we also have the Page of Cups. And I honestly think like love might not move in until we let go, let God, and move on, move forward, get up on the table when our needs aren't getting met. So, because a double ace, a pair of aces means a new partnership. And the partnership of the love variety, meaning the, yeah, so self-love first and foremost, acquiring knowledge, free will. We've got to grab the bull by our horns, take our power back. That's what I'm getting thus far. Yeah, I'm getting that we need to move on, move forward, because we're feeling stripped. We need to take action, or we'll become, by definition, an agent of the darkness. Because there's rulership on us. So if we don't pledge our crown to the light, it'll be taken by the dark. It's one of those things. If there's an empty vessel, if there's an empty void, darkness will take over. Literally, the void needs to be purified and needs to be sanctified in the light. It's one of those things. If you do nothing, the worst thing is going to happen. It's like marketing or damage control. Unfortunately, if you don't create the narrative, it'll be created for you. Unfortunately, if you don't make a decision, it'll be decided for you. Unfortunately, if you don't take charge of your life, it'll be taken charge of. It's kind of like you got to choose which pain you live with. Do you live with the pain of discipline, or do you live with the pain of regret? Do you deal with the pain of taking a stand, or do you deal with the pain of being a pushover? Do you deal with the pain of moving on, moving forward, or do you deal with the pain of being stuck and left behind? Unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with pain. That's non-negotiable. You do get to choose which pain it is. Ooh, okay, well, this is a reading. Yeah, so the groundwork has been laid for us to either fall to the light or fall to the dark. And we still have a way out here, but we need to own something. Tell me about this pair of aces. Yeah, so we're stuck not being able to move on, move forward. We're kind of we're attached to something because we're refusing to see the truth. So this person is going towards the moon, going towards something sneaky, leaving the sun. The sun is to the right, the moon is to the left. So in this instance, since we're going towards this attachment or securement of something, it would mean that we know the truth and we're refusing to see it, that we are sticking our foot down into some kind of um, Five of Swords. What is Five of Swords? And it's split between the two and the three. So Five of Swords is like a short-lived victory. Okay, it's a lack of boundaries. Okay, it's a waking up from the shock and awe of being innocent, naive. It's also having to deal with indecisiveness. We have the Two of Swords here, and some cold, harsh truth, Three of Swords. It can be yielding to other someone else's power. It would be the Lord with the Eight of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, we need to choose, but the thing is, if we don't choose, that will be a choice as well. A failure to choose is a choice in and of its own. Clarifying, yeah, because we're under some kind of illusion. We're not listening to our intuition, something of that nature. We also have been prepared for some material gift, but it's not yet been granted or given. Um, because we're giving our power to something as a love ascended being, but I think we're being given an opportunity to become a spiritually ascended being. However, we're still stuck or trapped in illusion, delusion, confusion. Remember, I was saying this: if this Eight of Cups is in reverse, because the Devil and the Five of Pentacles is here, if this Eight of Cups is in reverse, it would mean that we're either leaving, going into the Nine of Cups, or we're stuck in the Seven, trying to get to the Eight of Cups, and then the Seven of Cups came out in the clarification. So I'm going to take this a moment. And we're back. So the problem is that we need to move forward. We were in the river stick, so we were in some kind of darkness. Now I do think it's fundamental darkness. So it's part of what we're incarnated into. It's a misnomer being born into sin. We all are in a physical body. It actually just means we're born in a certain frequency, energy vibration as being underneath the terrestrial side of the moon. So it was a kill box, I hate to say, and I'm saying that, but I hate to say it. It was literally we were in the we were in the crosshead, we were in the gun zone. We crossed the firing line and we were being subjected to something, some kind of projection, Seven of Cups, Sete de Copa. We were supposed to heal from this. And if we had reached spiritual perfection, we would have become a love ascended being, as I said. Okay. We needed to get that blessing, that favor, that choice, that anointing, which meant we needed to come through with our heart chakra in some kind of sense, shape, form, or another. We were desiring some kind of agenda to get off the ground. I don't know what that is, what that looks like. It happened. The groundwork was laid, and we needed to, the universe was just waiting for us to fall into place, fall into formation. We were still wandering around the forest or wandering around the jungle. We were walking around wounded in some way, carrying a bunch of load on our back. We were burdened or repressed or oppressed in some kind of way, probably because of karmic causes or a failure and inability to wake up, because we were feeling overwhelmed, Page of Cups, Seven of Cups, okay? We're also feeling invested, Page of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. However, it's not the Eight of Pentacles, so it's not yielding, it's not working. It's not throwing off interest. It's not Nine of Pentacles, so we're not, living off dividends and the proverbial or physical, meaning, the fruits of our labor or our manifesting out of our spiritual gifts. There's still something to cultivate here, even though a cycle has completed itself. Wheel of Fortune and the World card. So tell me about this double page here. Okay, 4-1. So we were moving into spot, like I said, we were moving into our formation. However, again, we needed to learn how to use our spiritual gifts because it was time for them to turn into material gifts. That's the difference between the Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Infante Denari is when you get given material blessings, and Infante de Copa is when you get, Page of Cups is when you get spiritual blessings. And this is the promise on our life. Both of these confirm that there did need to be some kind of incarnational cycle, though, and that was the terms and conditions, the Three of Swords. That was the difficulty. And I know this is a rude awakening. Three of Swords and Seven of Wands means a rude awakening. Let's clarify all this. Yeah, I just keep it step by step and you're moving in. So this means that we are moving into formation. Yeah, the table needed to turn here before we divided from our body. And there was some protection, but also there was some suppression. There wasn't going to be a lot of extra going on. And see, here's that Eight of Pentacles. We have a Seven of Pentacles out. So we needed to yield from the investments that we made, and it needed to be kind of strict. And the end of chaos or turmoil or crisis is coming, but right now we have one more conflict. And it's to contend with the dark. We need to get out from underneath of some kind of oppressor. And I think it's just a fundamental, it's cyclical. Everybody on earth has to deal with that fundamental darkness. Sometimes it's in ourself and our shadow. The devil can talk about fear or illusion or even ignorance. Okay, falsities and ignorance is really what the devil talks about. And we have both good and bad with the Two of Swords that's dealing with dichotomies, polarities, duality, something of that nature. No, it's not duality, I'll be honest, because we don't have the moon card out here. So it's a dichotomy, which is a naturally, it's a not a naturally occurring polarity. Polarities is like two opposites of the same pole or two occurring It's like a composite of two opposing forces, but that's natural. Polarity is natural. A dichotomy isn't. And I'm hearing that word dichotomous. Yeah, so we were kind of trapped somewhere, not knowing what to think, not knowing what to do, la-di-da, yada-yada. And we needed to get into position, get into formation. And we kept being given opportunities to do that. But for some reason, we were standing our ground. I'm seeing the Queen of Wands standing our ground. And I'm hearing that we needed to break out, break free, but I'm not seeing that seven. I'm not hearing the Seven of Swords. I'm hearing the Seven, but I'm not seeing the Seven of Swords. And I'm not being given the clarification right now. Okay, it came. Yeah, so we were standing on business, but it was the wrong business. I'll be honest. We were standing on business, but it was the wrong business. It was some kind of wounding. So we were reacting to our wounds. And see, this is why the 12th house is institutional. And also, I don't feel like we're up against a natural born opponent. I feel like it's spiritual and primordial. So that's the devil. Yeah, like I said, we were standing on business, but the wrong business. It's because we were triggered in some kind of way. Two of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Four of Wands here. We were triggered in some kind of way because we were repressed. There was some type of suppression that wasn't allowing us to move on, move forward. That's what the secret is here. Yeah, because some kind of projection, it was a spiritual or energetic projection was happening to us. Some kind of spiritual manipulation was going on. So now that we understand the problem, let's look at the solution. Okay, there's that moon. So there's that duality that I was talking about here. So somebody here has their Saturn in Pisces. They might have their Mars in Pisces or be a Pisces rising. We could also here have a Scorpio rising. Okay. They could have their Mars in the 7th house if it's Taurus. Somebody here could have their Saturn in Taurus as well. So we probably have a Scorpio rising with Saturn in Taurus. So you'd be about 24, 25, 26 if this is you. Somebody can also have their Venus in Taurus. For sure, for sure. And that would be in the 7th house. So that, honestly, there is a lot of attention that comes to Venus in the 7th house. That would make you a Scorpio rising. We also have somebody that is a Leo rising here. Or Sun in Taurus. So Sun in Taurus is not the most favorable. There will always be a little bit of a tension there between seeking comfort and the work that needs to be done. It's not that we can't do the work or have fun there. It's just like opportunities will seem limited, or we'll take longer to shift, to change, to lose something, to let something go. Could we also have Venus here in Virgo? And honestly, that's not the best position. It makes us unwilling to ask for help. It's not a blanket statement, it's not an absolute, but there's something here that we need to break free from, and we're stuck right now. We're caught up in some kind of way, and we are going to be under judgment soon, so we do need to get this together. So unfortunately, with the Five of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, that can mean that time is ticking. So tell me about this ticking time. We have a double eight, so that's spiritual manipulation. It's energy projection, to be honest. We were bound down, that's ending. We were pinned down in a sunken place. That's still going on, to be honest. So we were blocked spiritually. That somebody did something to kill an opportunity for us, and I'm saying somebody, it's the devil. This is an archdemon here, Five of Swords. This is that moon. That means there's hidden energies, hidden entities, and that's the Pluto moving through the sixth house. That means we have attachments or spirits in our house, or some kind of curse on our bloodline, something that we need to deal with as in terms of a karmic debt. Okay, so we are going to break out and break free, but again, some person has power where they're going to try to do one more thing because their right is about to end. They've had the right to do something for a long time, and they've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and now they have to move, or it's going to end where they don't have. Because peace and security is going to come back. We're going to have safe space. And what is safe space? Sanctuary and refuge. So we have a double knight. What is this double knight? No, we have a double king. What is this pair of kings? Somebody might be a Capricorn sun, an Aries rising. I was thinking Sagittarius when the Seven of Pentacles came. Okay, but that actually tells me about a fucus. We need to learn about our spiritual gifts. Again, it's a confirmation here. We need to learn about our spiritual gifts. So I want to see what this double eight is, because one thing I know is that we're trying to leave behind something, or we're getting enough maturity experience that we're ready to leave behind something. And whatever other party, this is the position for another party, could be a person, place, or thing. This is the overall like power, the force. It would be best if this position has a major arcana, and this would be the Lord, the what has an overarching affinity to all the other energies. This is to make us mature in some kind of way, mature enough to handle and yield out of our material blessings. Ultimately, the power in the situation is that of being of the kingdom of the divine. The Ten of Cups is the eternal kingdom, in contrast to the Ten of Wands, which is the infernal kingdom. The Ten of Cups also goes with the Ten of Pentacles, that's heaven on earth. The Ten of Wands also goes with the Ten of Swords, which is eternal damnation. So the other party is having some difficulty gaining traction. They're if it's the person, place, or thing. Honestly, I'm getting so strongly that it's the devil, and we should probably ask. And the devil is an energy of fundamental darkness, which can be just a collective ignorance, a collective falsity, a collective fear. Sometimes when God comes to visit, we've been conditioned and programmed to be afraid, or something in our lower nature, our shadow, our repression, suppression, projection onto others is getting triggered. Let's check the double eight, and let's check who. Oh, at the double eight. Yeah, so it's a breadcrumb or a swapping of places. Yeah, no, we're dealing with the dark agent that needs to use our assent, our buy-in to get their traction, to get their, and it's blocked. The more we work on ourselves, the more they're not able to do anything. And I would know this because for sure, because our position is the King of Wands, which is taking action or defending a position, and its back is turned to this Knight of Cups in the position of others. So who's this enemy? We have a little bit more clarification. Yeah, so we're being guided over the river Styx because heaven on earth is here, and we're starting to see that. So this other side, they're realizing that something's not working because the more and the more and the more time is over. There's a strict, cold, harsh sentence here. We're not able to actually give them what they want because we just keep working on ourselves and improving as a being, and that happens. You know, society pushes forward. So if you're saying the same, by definition, you're getting worse. And honestly, we're naive and sincere and truthful and genuine, at least with ourselves, at least on a soul level, our heart is clean and pure, or we're innocent. One of those is gonna ping hit for the Page of Cups. I was gonna say Infanta. So Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles. So again, spiritual blessings, material blessings. And again, this other side, they're not winning. This other side thought they had a new mark, a new victim that thought they had us in their crosshairs. And honestly, so we had the Nine of Swords before, and we have the Five of, so that's confirming that it's a backfire. Yeah, so we were pinned down in space. We have the Eight of Pentacles up here. Something's not working. We're not trapped like they thought we were. We're not stupid like they thought we were. Of course, we were second guessing. Of course, we were confused. Of course, we were pinned down in place for a while, but the trick with the Eight of Swords is to open up your eyes and decide for yourself. It's the same with the Seven of Cups, but you can't trust your eyes with the Seven of Cups. You can't trust your feelings either, to be honest. Oh, and the Seven of Cups came. Okay, so this other person is trying to use some kind of love or some kind of respectability politics, or some kind of tie, some kind of tribute. But we're independent and we are actually secure in the self, and that was what the situation needed to align itself. Tell me about this Devil in the Tower. Is it are some okay? Let me put a chiche. No, same energy came back. So we've made it. We're about to break out of hell, is what that means, because we're now sitting on our spot. Nine of Cups and L'Imperatrice, the Empress. That's the perfect combination. This is us. This is the perfect combination. And then describing the situation would be that we took actions of the heart. We went from the heart. We didn't go from the mind. We weren't all in our mental. We were in our emotions. We were in our soul, not in our spirit. And it worked something out. See, it's interesting because very rarely does the energy continue as ours through the positions. Normally it will get broken as another person. It's a continual line of energy. We have a double cup and then a double Mars and then a double pentacle. So this whole thing is talking about us. It's true with the high priestess there. Okay, so let's just read the hand. Normally I don't open up the left and right hand in the clarification, but it's saying here that we're sitting pretty. Nine of Cups means you've made it, you're highly favored, blessed, chosen, and anointed. We've made it to a love ascended being, and now our road is open as long as we take actions from the heart. Yeah, so a spell lifted, a curse broke, and then look, it's all okay. Okay, so everything is all right. So we're being given passage now because we're going to go on a pilgrimage, or we're going to go on some kind of ascension download, or some kind of activation, or some kind of initiation. As long as we deal in the cosmos, as long as we mature, as long as we learn about our spiritual gifts, that's going to take us out of this hoopty environment that we're in energetically. Tell me about this Wheel of Fortune and the Devil. Because that was going on about, gemology and real estate, land development. That's the only time that the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil is positive. Normally it means it's the karmic will. Okay, yeah. So I think we're beginning to learn that we have enemies around, honestly. Because this is a weird, it's not exactly a flank, but if these were two enemies, you could look at it as a flank, but it's not even a loose flanking. If we're going to go on a spiritual initiation, it needs to be by some supreme authority. Hopefully this is positive, because these two cards together could mean that it's a rigged game, but it's negated here. it's negated. What's coming forward is a spiritual blessing. We're getting a golden egg, a golden apple here. So it would mean that we've defended our spot for so long that we finally figured out what to do with all this bad energy or this horrible experience has given us something. Our mess became a message. Our test became testimony. Yeah, okay, so we do have a gracious, exalted influence over the cycle now because, again, a spell lifted, a curse broke. We're moving into our spot here, especially with this Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Swords and the Emperor. That means a graduation or a rank increase. If the Wheel of Fortune came before the Emperor, it would mean something going on behind our back over our head, which normally is what happens when it's the 12th house. So I think, okay, so this is a graduation. The Sun card or the Judgment card and the Emperor means a graduation, and it's a soul retrieval with that La Papessa, the High Priestess. Two of one. Yeah, so we've gained dominion back over ourselves. We're now in control of ourself, of our life, maybe even. But it took being broken down. And so that would be the thing going on behind our back, over our head. We need to be broke down so that we can find our favor and find our choice. Tell me about this Rota l'Imperatore. Is this... We're hearing something about cullings. So all the growth got taken away. Tell me about this Emperor and Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. We're defending our good-hearted nature, and it was a burden. It was a very difficult cycle. It was backbreaking, heartache. Okay, I need you to tell me about this Wheel of Fortune Emperor. Okay, yeah, so somebody is feeling stripped. They're feeling defeated or lost out because there was lures to the dark. They wanted us to choose a lesser path, a lower path. They wanted to give us the opportunity to be basic, but for some reason we were second guessing that. And it's because we actually knew that we were sitting pretty. There was something to cultivate out of what we were experiencing. All right, let's see. The clip, oh, okay, so I totally called it. They wanted to, they were on some high ground for a while with whatever energy was being projected. So we were being attacked, energetically targeted, if it's not an actual enemy, which I haven't gotten this whole reading, that we're dealing with a person. We're dealing with some malevolent force of the universe, to be honest. And the truth is about to come out. They're fighting off the whole thing crumbling down to the ground because they were sitting pretty, they were resting on the laurels of some kind of energetic targeting. But it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I did also get that we're about to meet a divine masculine specifically. So I don't know, male body, female body, male identified, female identified, whoever's watching, the priest is watching, the priest is watching, the prophet is watching. Okay, yeah, because we are separated, but it was some distraction. And somebody out there was watching to make sure that we didn't come across a lover, because that lover was going to wake us up. And there's new beginnings on the way. So that is one of the things. The devil can't get us if we are devoted to God or have some kind of person that we're connected to that is interceding. So They wanted us to stay unawakened so that we would be bound. They wanted us to stay unawakened so that we would be bound. It's the devil. So here. Yeah, like I was saying, so if we're connected to God or connected to our twin, the energy is not going to see double prayer hands. So that's the thing. Whatever they're doing wasn't working. And that was the Eight of Cups kept coming. Because we were working on our spiritual self. We were working on our spiritual practice. So if Set or the black snake comes out, okay, so Osiris. So this is what getting our afterlife situated. Yeah, we went through a whole cycle here and we started doing things the very right way, Ptah. It's ritual skill. Yeah, so this other enemy, they know that they're not going to pass judgment. They're about to get devoured. It's already ending for them. Yeah, so we made it through a whole lot. We dealt with the ups, the downs, the all arounds, the good, the bad, the ugly, the la di da, the yada yada. Okay, so this didn't tell me. So I have a question. Are we dealing with the devil here? Like, is that what's going on? I know you've already answered this, so please tell me again. Who's this enemy? It feels like Diablo. Okay, so we have a whole narrative. So we're brand new. We're having a glow up, okay? And ultimately, this is a message from the battleground. So we have to fight. We're getting our life restored because we were on the wrong path for a while. We were fighting some kind of fundamental darkness. And the heavens have made some kind of decision or judgment. Ultimately, there might be Venus in Libra or Aries rising. But that we're getting a message from, so this is from the officers while we're on the battlefield. So this is the fundamental, battle against good and evil. Let's have a look. Yeah, with the moon here. It's because there was some entity, energy, ideology cloaked in we had an attachment, and it might have been a bugaboo thought, some kind of automatic negative thinking, automated negative thinking. But this is also a shapeshifter, somebody cloaking themselves in their energy. That's over. But it was there for a long time. And yeah, they got kicked out, or they leached everything they could leach, and there's nothing there. So they're getting starved out. Yeah, because we're getting initiation. So we're getting our crown being put on our head. We're getting crowned. We're getting crowned because this is that favor and anointing, and it's coming back to us, or it's being put on us, or it's time. It was always time, but for some reason we hadn't had the event in the physical. And if you look in the background, oh wait, this is not the normal right away, but it's okay. So this is in the Garden of Eden. So when we go back home to paradise, we are anointed. We do have high rank. And I need to pull another card here because we have the Emperor and Empress just come out. Yeah, there's that glow up I was talking about. And we are about to meet somebody, but to whomever we were going up against, the agents of darkness, that's what it was. We had different people all the time and not no individual person. They were never going to be able to offer us anything. We were a catalyst to them. And so really what's happening is we've probably been losing a lot of people in our life, and it's the ancestors doing it to us. Let's see. Yeah, because we needed to grow in silence. You see how it's underground? Very little is coming above ground, and it's new. Okay. So now we're about to get that bag. Now we're about to get that boo, that bay. Yeah, something's wrapping itself up. The death card came out twice as well. That's what my intuition's telling me. Yeah, there's twin flame. So this person knows who we were. I was picking that up and they haven't said something. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. It's around the corner, Libra season. which is next month. Hold tight. Yeah, so this we had a bug of a scrub. They were attached to us, but not doing them nothing, not giving us no nothing. And these were friends mostly, maybe a couple lovers. It's a wrap. Yeah, Libra. This is not Libra, but it's balanced. Things are aligning themselves. Because we had frenemies and ops around us. And it's because they needed to be on our coattails. They couldn't be original themselves. They were critical, perfectionist, judgmental, uptight. They were shrewd, petty, and they were literally dropping bombs behind our back. We were on the battlefield, but the victory has been declared. And there is something on the horizon, but we do need to get every single person out of our life that doesn't need to be there. That is one thing I want to say. Because destiny is knocking at the door. It's just around the corner. And there's one or two little flames that need to be extinguished, which is those who don't treasure us, they don't cherish us, they're infatuated, they desire us. Because we're having a glow up, we're the star. Yeah, if you got cheese, you got rats. Wherever there are rats, there are cats. Whatever there are cats, there are dogs. If you got the dogs, you got bitches. Bitches always out there put their paws on your riches. Yeah, so we have people that they got their little nubby grubbies, their little greedy eaties out. Okay, ho, you can have needs or whatever, but and see, they're gonna try to follow us wherever we're going, and that's just a no. They're kind of drinking the Kool-Aid or they're in the Lululand. Yeah. Oh, oh my goodness. Okay. It's an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. This was about the spiritual intercession that was on our life and the forced pilgrimage. We were probably put in solitude. We were sequestered in some kind of way. And now we're discovering why. It's because we had enemies that we couldn't fathom, we couldn't understand. And it wasn't always entirely revealed who it was. And that's the thing about the 12th house. You'll get one aspect of the truth, but you will never get the whole truth. The 12th house, you won't understand until after you die. That's the thing. What you will understand is how to make it out of that karmic cycle. That's the one thing you will get. Take good care, honey. I love you so much. Take good care. Bye.